Good afternoon, and welcome to today's Tech Talk on low-code integration and connectivity. My name is Bob Jeffcott. I am a Principal Systems Engineer with Software AG's Government Solutions. Today we will be talking about the importance and key factors of a integration platform in your low-code, no-code landscape. Let's first take a look at how we arrived in this low-code, no-code platform world that we live in today, and more importantly, the impact it had along the way to our user community. In the beginning, applications were built using punch cards. It was laborious and slow and time-consuming. However, one of the benefits, these projects were meticulously designed because they didn't have time to go back and do it again. Then came along our 3GLs, COBOL, Fortran, and the like, and we were able to deliver applications to a wider range of users with wider capabilities. Then came 4th GLs, a much more user-friendly language that enabled us to not only build applications quicker, but make changes to those applications so that our users came to expect a bit of customization and flexibility in their applications. But then the first big step in evolution came along. The advent of client-server applications and desktop applications. Now users had the ability to customize their own desktop, their own work environment. Granted, it may have just been something simple like their own color changes, their own window sizes, their own layouts. But again, that expectation of having a user experience that was customized was born. Then the first real big evolution came along, and that was the World Wide Web. Now users had the world at their desktops. They expected every function, every business, everyone to have a web app, and they expected a level of self-serve capabilities. Then the next big evolution came along, mobile applications, the smartphone. And not only did the user community have the world at its fingertips, it could now take that world with them wherever they went. They got really used to whatever need they had to be downloaded at the App Store. That brings us to our low-code, no-code platform world, where we're trying to deliver applications as quickly as possible, as reliably as possible. We're no longer having to do coding. We're no longer having to do extensive testing. But there has been a side effect of this, or I should say an effect on the user community. The user community has come to expect almost immediate results from the IT world. Or as Farouk Assault so eloquently put it, I want the whole world and I want it now. Our response to that demand is the implementation of low-code, no-code applications. However, a challenge with that is there is no single low-code, no-code solution that fits every need on every platform. So what people typically do is they start out with a CRM, customer relations management system. That's usually the first step into that low-code, no-code world. But the reality is you still have your back-end on-prem systems, whether it be a legacy application, ERPs, data warehouses, and a variety of other enterprise applications. Now, because that CRM doesn't meet all the requirements, we start to add things. Start to add a workflow management to do support requests. Then you have to start to integrate to third-party applications, whether it be something like the new trend toward identification, ID management, ID verification, or a simple ordering from a third party. We also start document management, IoT applications now, and a whole host of other cloud services that are out there and available. But now I'm going to have to start to connect these systems together. But they all have APIs, right? So it's no big deal. I can connect my CRM to my ERP, to that workflow management, to that system ticketing, to those third-party applications that support web services. It sounds simple, right? But there are challenges to that. The first thing is that there's really more than a single point-to-point connection. I need to start to connect those systems together across those different applications. And when we talk about those APIs, there really are multiple APIs that need to be invoked on each of those low-code, no-code platforms. It isn't a simple interface to the CRM. There's multiple different objects. There's multiple different capabilities. And you have to learn what all those are, how to orchestrate those. Also, there's often times where more than two applications have to be connected together. It isn't a simple interface between a CRM and a third-party application. I need to start to do an integration between that CRM, maybe an order entry system for a third party, but now I need to feed that information back to my legacy application for my inventory management, feed the financial transactions to me, my ERP system, and then maybe do a ticket to my workflow management, to my system to deliver information to the customer. So not only do I have to orchestrate all of these different APIs together, but I also have to rely that my business is not going to change. And if 2020 taught us nothing else, it taught us that change is constant, and we have to be prepared to meet those changes and meet those challenges. So there's got to be a better way, right? Let's look at having not only a low-code, no-code landscape, but having a low-code, no-code integration tool to orchestrate all those things together. The idea behind that low-code, no-code integration platform is not only to remove some of those complexities and remove some of those challenges, but to allow you to react quicker and easier and simplify those integration points. Let's take a look at the benefits an integration platform plays in your low-code, no-code world. First, the connectivity. The integration platform can provide a wide range of wizard-driven connections to these platforms, removing a lot of the complexity that you would normally encounter. It goes beyond a simple API interface. It addresses the security requirements. It addresses the various types of connections, such as bulk loaders, event listeners, the standard APIs. It allows you to do simple object integration without having to be an expert in that platform. It handles the typical CRUD, create, read, update, delete. It handles the relationship requirements between the entities within that platform. It handles the field validation rules. It handles any customizations that you might do to that platform. When it comes to data mapping, it understands the entities automatically. It can download those and map those from the language of the platform to the language that you need. Also, what's next? There's always going to be a new capability, a new low-code, no-code platform that you may embrace. And you need to be able to have that integration platform build custom adapters into those solutions. In those APIs we've been talking about, the integration platform handles any of the current APIs, not only to that platform's native API, but can publish out APIs that you may need for other uses. And APIs are constantly changing. We had HTTP, then moved on to SOAP. With the advent of smartphone applications, REST became popular. Now we're seeing a move to OData and GraphQL. By having that low-code, no-code integration platform, I can adapt to those changes and I can handle whatever comes next without having to recode anything. And security. There are a wide wide range of security requirements, both within the platform and within your own enterprise, whether it be basic authentication, tokens, key stores, OAuth, SAML, OpenID. Now you're starting to see a lot more multi-factor authentication, single-use passwords, and other security requirements. By having that integration platform, that removes those requirements and those challenges from your hand coding, from those applications, and simplifies that. And data mapping. The integration platform seamlessly translate things from the native platform's language into whatever language you need or needs to be delivered to other applications. You don't have to worry about the EBCDIC to ASCII translation when you're dealing with mainframes. You can seamlessly move from XML to JSON and map back. You can parse out strings. You can map data from one format to another. Having an integration platform to go along with your low-code, no-code landscape brings a host of other benefits as well. Let's just look at a couple of them. You can start to enforce SLAs, whether it be communication between these platforms or whether it be events that happen within each individual platform. The integration platform gives you a single place for auditing. You can start to leverage throttling capabilities to ensure that you're not hitting one environment too often or there aren't runaway uh, events that are happening. You can have versioning. There's always changes to these different low-code, no-code platforms with their APIs. So you can address those. You don't have to immediately respond to the latest and greatest. You can do policy enforcement. Who gets to see what? Just because you can have an access to a system doesn't necessarily mean everyone is treated equally. So you can do policy enforcement. Between those applications without having to code any of that. And as we know, the best line of code is one that isn't written. You don't have to do testing. You don't have to do changes to it if it's not written, if it's that no code version. Now let's revisit our demanding user community and see how a low code, no code integration platform can help meet their needs. Some of the key benefits include that wizard-driven application connectivity and service creation, giving you the ability to connect to almost any platform without having to be an expert in that platform. Easy mapping, orchestration, and publication can quickly meet changing business or citizen demands and needs, delivering information where it's needed in a timely manner. By having a wide range of reusable services, it can limit the development time, deliver more reliable results in a shorter period of time. By having the ability to have global security and policy enforcement ensures safe, secure communication of information across your enterprise. Thank you so much for attending today's Tech Talk on low-code, no-code integration.